All right, guys, to wrap up today's show, Mike Green is going to talk to you about ready positions.
Welcome back to Trigger Time TV. We're here at King Bee Farm in Ardmore, Tennessee. Next is what I'd like to talk about is the different shooting positions. The high ready and the low ready, and then a relaxed ready. If you get on the internet and you go to them forums, you'll see a lot of folks out there arguing over which technique is better, the high ready or the low ready, and I'm going to tell you, both are great. And it depends on what you're doing when you're going to use each one. All right. As we started doing CQB back when I was in Special Forces, we would typically have a few folks in the high ready and a few folks in the low ready. As we continued on, and I went down to a counterterrorism unit, I noticed that everybody there was doing the low ready. And I just assumed that it was a reason for it. And when I asked, their response was, well, we have folks up on the catwalk, so we don't use a high ready here anymore. It was interesting enough that we had changed our tactics and techniques because of a safety measure. But as what we found out was a high ready is a really good technique when you have people in front of you and you can't get up past their gear. All right? So I'll talk about each one individually and I'll show it how it's supposed to be done, and then later on I'll give a little bit of tips as far as when's the best time to use which one. All right? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about the low ready. Standard procedure in CQB operations is low ready. I'm simply going to start with the gun at a position where I can bring my chin up and over, look around, and maybe hunt for targets. And then what I'll do is I'll snap up and I'll shoot. It'll look something like this. I'll fire 3, ready, up. Okay. That's our low ready. Next I'm going to talk a little bit about the high ready. The high ready simply is where I'm coming in, and if I have something where I can't get up, the high ready may be more beneficial. And it looks something like this. I want to basically start off with either a front sight or the muzzle at about where the target would be. And then is what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to press out, clear my gear, lower, and then come back to get a good shoulder stock weld, and then fire my weapon. All right, so it looks something like this. Ready, up. All right. And then back to the high ready. All right. So the third thing that I'm going to talk about is that it's not often used, is more or less what I like to refer to as a relaxed ready, or when I was teaching a lot of PSD courses and doing PSD type operations, is a PSD ready. And that's basically where you have the gun around your neck and you're walking around and relaxed ready. You have the firearm on you, but you're not hunting, okay? And there aren't a whole lot of folks that'll basically start from here on the line, but more than likely, we have a better chance of having an engagement from this position because we're not expecting it. And typically attacks don't happen when you're expecting it. All right? So that's more or less where you start from here and you bring the gun up. All right? So I'm down here at the relaxed ready, walking around, the target comes front, and I engage. All right? The key there is that you have to step into it and then begin shooting because again, you're not in the ready. All right? Now when it comes to the low ready, if I have 2 people in front of me and they're trying to get through a doorway and they've got all their gear on, I could not get my gun up in between them. And as you can see, when someone walks through this fatal funnel here, you can see where it's easier to get them down and by their shoulders to engage the target. Now again, that might not be a good day for those guys as far as the muzzle blast goes, but at the end of the day, you're able to neutralize the threat and they're able to continue on with their mission. Each one will have a separate benefit. One of the other benefits is that I know, because I've timed it, that I can run faster in a high ready than when a low ready. So what you need to do is get out there, practice them both, use them, and see which one works for you. I'm Mike Green from Green Ops. Thanks for tuning in.
Trigger Time TV is brought to you by EOTech, Bravo Company Manufacturing, Bravo Company USA, Block, B5 Systems, Kinetic Development Group, Silencer Co., King Bee Farms, JTAC Industries, Magneto Speed, Arachnagrip, Mountain Khakis, Yellow Jacket, Rudy Project, and Peltor.
We would like to dedicate today's show to the men and women of the United States military and law enforcement. the people that stand in the gap and keep our country free. God bless America.